Welcome to another edition of the Sports Block. My name is Will Giddis alongside Tyler Scholler and Daniel Engram. We're here to bring your Middle Creek Mustangs taking on the Green Hope Falcons. I'm going to pass it over here to Tyler to talk about our Middle Creek Mustangs and over to Daniel to talk about the Green Hope Falcons.
Hey guys, I'm Tyler. Welcome back from that long stretch of September where we didn't have that home game. Last week, Middle Creek played Apex at Apex, and they ended up winning 21-7. Brent Griesel had a really good game last week. He threw for a bunch of yards and had a bunch of completions. Jay Schuler was by far his favorite receiver, so we're looking for that combination tonight. So far this season, Middle Creek has has 32.6 points per game average, and they've allowed 18. So their defense is very strong, and we look for that to be a factor tonight. I'm going to pass it over to Daniel here, who's going to let you know a little bit about Green Hope.
All right, the Green Hope Falcons have 4 wins, and 2 losses. They're not very strong on defense, allowing 20.5 points per game, and they average 28.8 points per game. So they're doing very well on offense, and they need to step it up a little bit on defense.
Thanks, Daniel. So, yeah, like Tyler said, we haven't had a home game since the end of August. Had none in September, which was pretty rough as a member of the sports block, not having anything to do. Of course, coaches show on Tuesdays, but you just get that itch for some football in Mustang Stadium, and finally being able to quench that thirst is amazing as your Middle Creek Mustangs walking out of the tunnel as we speak.
Yeah, that tunnel, that's probably one of the best entrances here in the SWAC conference, and I imagine in the state. So this really gets our players hyped and gets them excited for the game.
Definitely, and the sun's gone down, and now that we're kind of moving into fall, it's a lot darker, a lot earlier as opposed to when the Mustangs played E.E. Smith. Beautiful night, though. I'd say about mid-70s, a little bit humid, not too bad, and just a great night to be outside and watch a football game.
For Green Hope tonight, Luke Massey is starting at quarterback for the injured Chris Tutwiler. I believe it was early in the season. It was in a scrimmage game. Chris Tutwiler went down with a gruesome leg injury. I believe he tore his ACL and broke his femur, and so he's out for the season. It's good that he's back. He went under emergency surgery right after the incident, and he's got a lot of support from his students and teammates. So, and he's actually one of the captains tonight, so you'll see him walk out on the field for the coin toss.
Definitely, and if I recall correctly, Chris Tutwiler got a letter from Joe Theismann following his injury.
Yeah, he did. Actually, he sent him a signed football also because their injury was extremely similar. So they're kind of, and I quote, they're sort of brothers now. So, and they share the same birthday, which is very interesting and pretty cool. And he sent it on his birthday. So it's one of those things that you don't. It's just he had a terrible injury, but something good came out of it. So.
Yeah, I don't think I'd mind being brothers with Joe Theismann. Something to note here for today's game, tidbit of information. We have a bunch of elementary schoolers from, I believe, Middle Creek Elementary here participating with our cheerleaders today. And I believe a few middle schoolers were taking place in the national anthem, playing their instruments. So nice to see the Mustangs get involved with kids who will eventually be coming to this school.
Yeah, it's an important thing to. I get it's not recruiting, but you get your community involved, and that promotes community support for all our fundraisers for our athletes and that kind of stuff. So it helps bring in the money that students and teachers and athletics need to field our athletic teams.
Yeah, and you know, Middle Creek, as you said, loves to get involved with the community in so many different ways. In the coaches show on Tuesday, we talked about, I can't recall the name of the league, but the league where the children with disabilities played football with the assistance of volunteers from Middle Creek, and of course the Miracle League for baseball, and just a whole bunch of other things. Of course, a lot of people do community service through church. Of course, they're still representing Middle Creek, and I think it really gives Middle Creek a good name in the community, especially in the Triangle.
Yeah, Will, I believe the organization you're talking about was the Panthers organization.
Yeah.
Actually, our own David Salmon last year, he actually had them all out here, and they all participated in sort of a little practice, and they played a game on our field. So that's just another example of how our Mustangs are out in the community.
Yeah, certainly, nice to see from kids our age, and now the Mustangs going and meeting at midfield to flip the coin. We're going to see what happens here.
Yeah, out there, number 13 on the far right with the crutches, that's Chris Tutwiler. He's out there supporting his teammates, and he's been fortunate enough to be named a captain.
Was he a captain prior to the injury, or is this as a result of the injury?
He was named a captain before, but, I mean, it's one of those things that you keep that status, just like the Rutgers guy a couple years ago.
Yeah.
He got paralyzed. He was in a weight training accident, and he got paralyzed, and so he was actually drafted by the Buccaneers, and they honored that contract, I believe, for a day. So it's one of those. It's like those good faith things that really mean a lot to those student athletes who are hurt or can't really participate in the sport they love anymore.
Yeah, definitely. I'll just talk a little bit about what we talked about with Coach Castellano on Tuesday at Ruckus Pizza. He said that Green Hope has a very similar style offense to the Mustangs, meaning that they're going to run a spread offense, they're going to throw it a lot, maybe run it in between, every few plays, but it's going to be an interesting matchup because based purely off stats, it seems like a very even matchup, not something we really saw at Apex last week.
Yeah, Apex, their quarterback was more of they're more of an option type team. They do run the spread offense like we do, no huddle. But they like to do a lot of option plays with their quarterback, who is extremely fast. I believe he's a sophomore this year, so he's one of the big leaders on the team. So it's one of those things that you just got to look out for.
Definitely, and just something that doesn't really come across on the stat sheet. All of our 21 points in our game against Apex came in the first half. Now, in the second half, Brant came out, and he was actually limping on the field for, I believe, all of the fourth quarter. Like, he was obviously hurting a little bit, but still, at the same time, we didn't score any points in the second half. And I think that worried not only myself, but a lot of students in the student section, because Apex isn't exactly known for their defense. We kind of expected to put up more points than we did. So I'm kind of interested to see what our offense looks like against this better Green Hope offense.
Well, I'm sure playing
defense.
I'm sure playing those 4 away games last month really played a toll on them. Now the Mustangs are back in their own stadium and with their own fans, so I'm sure this atmosphere is going to play a major part in how they come out on this opening kickoff and their first ensuing possession.
Let me ask you something, Tyler. Do you think that having home field advantage, with the way that our Creek Crazies are, the amount of traveling they're willing to do you really think that plays, it obviously plays in our favor when we play at home. Do you really think that the Mustangs are at a disadvantage for away games with the amount of Mustangs that come out to support them?
Oh, by a shadow of a doubt, they have a complete and huge home field advantage here with the Creek Crazies. The Creek Crazies do like to travel. They travel very well, so it's more of like just being accustomed to your surroundings. Like we know our field, we know the layout, we know the different, just how it plays. Whereas you go to, say, like earlier in the year, we played Smithfield-Selma at Smithfield-Selma. And so we're not as familiar with those areas, and that's a farther drive for most Mustang families. So it's one of those things that you just gotta deal with, and you gotta overcome those obstacles. And that not having home field advantage for a month is one of those obstacles. So tonight we'll see how it turns around.
Indeed, we will. Mustangs getting ready to kick it off here, meaning they will receive in the kickoff in the second half, and we'll await kickoff. This is Michael Rubino getting ready to kick it away. Absolutely monster of a leg. Kick is up and away into the end zone. They're going to let that one go for the touchback.
That's a good start for the Mustangs, having that first kickoff in the end zone, pinning them deep in their own territory. It's one of those, it's going to be a game of defense so far, so we'll see what happens.
And back at quarterback, number 8, Luke Massel. He is a junior. And right off the bat, here's a handoff around the right sideline, and he's going to get wrapped up and thrown out of bounds for either no gain or a loss.
That was Elijah Moraine on this jet sweep. Elijah Moraine's one of their big targets for Luke. Elijah's one of the top receivers and players on the team, so we look to see a lot out of him tonight.
And out of the shotguns, big part of the spread offense, probably the only part of the spread offense, goes back to pass, and there's an open receiver, number 3, who drops the ball. That was that was Ben Mayhew, senior receiver, who dropped that ball.
Yeah, that's a ball you got to catch right there. That was right in his hands. Luke actually made a good throw, throwing it away from the defender, but
yeah, I believe he tried to turn upfield before he caught the ball.
Yeah, Ben just couldn't hold on to it.
So 3rd and 10 early here in this game.
And you can hear the Creek Crazies getting really rowdy out here. So this atmosphere, like I said, is going to play a big part for Green Hope and the Mustangs.
And here's the snap. Maybe trying to draw the Mustangs off sides. No. Goes back to pass down the sideline. Potential pick, no, thrown out of bounds. And that's going to bring up 4th and 10.
That pass was intended for number 14, Austin Jackson, who's a junior this year. That just looked like a miscommunication between Luke and him. Just looked like Austin was going on a fly route. Luke thought he was going to stop. So that's just a miscommunication, and that probably has a lot to do with the Creek Crazies here.
And out comes the Middle Creek Special Teams unit. Already have a handful of blocked punts under their belt. We'll see if they can get another one here today. I believe that's Jay Schuler back to receive.
Looks like the Mustangs are going to go for the block.
And it looks like they might get it.
Oh, they got it! They got it! Touchdown! Mustangs!
A phenomenal play on special teams, and something that we've almost become accustomed to here in Mustang Stadium has been blocked punts, and they just picked that one up in the end zone for an early touchdown.
And I believe that was Isaiah Herring who had the block punt and the recovery in the end zone. For the Mustangs, I think that's 12 on the season. It's a massive amount of block punts, so they're doing really well so far.
And I believe this is going to be Chris Huey, I believe, out for the extra point attempt.
Chris Huey on for the extra point.
Here's the snap. The hold kick is up,
and it's good.
And it's good.
So that's going to put the score at Mustangs 7, Green Hope 0.
Like I said earlier, that Mustangs only averaging 18 points per game allowed. That's a major part of that defense that you just saw, and that they scored with, I believe, 52 seconds into the game. So their defense plays a major part in their offense also. I mean, it sounds a weird concept, but it's really true.
Definitely. So Rubino's going to come back out and kick it off again. Green Hope looking to get a little bit more success on this next drive.
Deep for Green Hope, we have number 26, Demetrius Massenberg, who's a senior running back, and you also have Elijah Moraine, who's a senior wide receiver.
Massenberg and Moraine deep for Green Hope. Rubino on kickoff.
Getting his ball placed correctly. Creek Crazies making tons of noise, and here comes Rubino with the kick. It's up. That one looks like it's going to be just short of the end zone, and they're just going to let it bounce into it.
Again, the Falcons start from their own 20-yard line, so let's see that Mustangs defense come out here and dominate again.
Luke Massel still under center at quarterback. Luke Massey. And here's a handoff up the middle.
Stuffed by a herd of Mustangs. Maybe a gain of a yard, maybe 2.
Depends on where they mark it with forward progress. They're going to give him 2 yards on the carry.
Luke Gray and Warren Messer on the tackle. 2nd and 8.
Long snap count, back to pass. Taking his time and throws it to an open receiver who had to kind of fall down and catch that one for, I believe, enough for a first down.
Nice catch by number 16, Daniel Gretsch. He's a junior wide receiver, so a lot of these starters for the Falcons are juniors and seniors. So I mean, there's a lot of juniors on the starting offense, so that they're a very young team. So they've got a lot of growing up to do, and in the next couple of years, they'll be really, really something to look at.
And Mustang's going to jump offside. Pretty obvious here. Linebacker looking to get a bit of a jump. And yeah, you know, I'm just looking down this roster, and there's not many seniors like on the roster, period, let alone starters.
Yeah, there's quite a few actual sophomores on here who look like they might get some playing time here, but most of them, like I said earlier, are juniors.
And here's the pass. He's going to skip that one over, 2nd and 5.
Second and 5.
And a long snap count. Snaps the ball, quarterback back to pass. And he's going to throw it, and there's an open receiver, overthrows. That's number 3, Ben Mayhew, target of the pass.
Yeah, Luke kind of made it wasn't the smartest decision, I believe. Probably would have been easier to run it because, I mean, there's no Mustangs within his area because the pocket collapsed and that forced him to run up. And, I mean, he had a lot of daylight to run, so I'm kind of questioning that call.
I kind of disagree a little bit there. There was a linebacker who looked like he was about to rock the quarterback stay, and I think he made a good decision. It was just a poorly placed throw. That could have been a huge gain for Green Hope on that play.
That'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Falcons. Let's see if the Mustangs defense can hold them.
And here's the snap, quick throw over to the sideline, and that's going to be thrown too wide for his receiver. That's going to bring up 4th and 5.
That was a good stand by the Mustangs defense. And again, let's see if we can get that punt blocked with Jay Schuler deep to return. I believe the Falcons will be a little more cautious this time with the protection because I know they don't want 2 block punts in a row. So we'll see what they do. It looks like the Mustangs are bringing the whole house.
And they might get it again. Nope, just a little bit late. Definitely putting pressure on that punter. That was going to drop out of bounds at around the Mustangs' 40-yard line.
First and 10 from their own 42-yard line.
Even though they didn't get there, that's still a good job by the Mustangs punt team. They forced him to make an error, and I mean, like, I guess he shanked it off his foot, so it puts the Mustangs in good field position.
And this is going to be the first time that Brent Gristle actually gets to take the field. Here's the snap. They're going to hand it off up the sideline, or up the middle, I'm sorry.
Looks like Elijah Perry for about 9.
Second and 2, ball on the 50-yard line.
Second and 2.
Here's the snap back to pass. Dangerous throw, a little bit low. They're going to rule that one a catch.
Looks like they're marking him just short of the first down.
Yeah, I don't think he got it.
Yeah, it should be 3rd and inches. So we'll see what the Mustangs choose to do here.
And they're going to hand it off. Finds a hole.
Nice gain after the initial contact.
Elijah Perry over the right side. That's enough for Middle Creek. First down.
And Coach Castellano talked about the impression that the Mustangs kind of give off that they're a pass-heavy team, which is really just not the case. They balance the ball very well when it comes to running and throwing. And that's going to be a short throw, and that's going to be dropped by a Mustang receiver. That's number 15.
Bringing up 2nd and 10.
Do we have a roster for us? Do we have a roster? We have our roster.
And he hikes the ball, handoff up the middle. He's got some room to run. Needs a block, and he can shake that off. No, but he's going to get down to about the 30-yard line. A nice gain.
That was Josh Drake on the carry for the Mustangs. He's played a major part in the Mustangs' success in the running game so far. I believe he's only a freshman. So getting him into these varsity games is really going to help him early and help him later in his career. And there he goes again up the middle. Probably about 3 or 4 yards. So he's getting a good solid play. He's getting good solid playing time throughout his freshman season.
Definitely, and like you said, once he becomes an upperclassman, a junior or senior, the time he spent on this varsity offense is really going to pay off and potentially make him a huge threat in the future. And it's back to pass. There's Jay Schuler going up for the ball, and he's hit while going up. No penalty on the play, incomplete pass.
Yeah, that's just nice defense by the Falcons there. They timed that perfectly and got a hand in there.
He's at the 3rd down.
And Green Hope is going to jump off sides.
So it looks like it still be about 3rd and 1 unless we get a good spot here on the offsides call. So stay 3rd and 1.
Brings up a 3rd and 1.
Receiver in motion. He's going to hand it off to him. He's going to have some room up the sideline to run, and I believe that is going to be enough for the first down. We'll see where they spot it. That's Keon Smith with the run.
That was a nice run by Keon there. Just getting the first down, doing what he has to. Because without that first down, the drive just ceases right there. So, and that it might be a little bit out of Chris Huey's field goal range. So that was a good job by Keon.
Here's the snap to Gristle, back to pass, looks over to the receiver, and it's going to be thrown low and out of reach, 2nd and 10. And even early right now, it seems like Brent's kind of off his mark in terms of his pass placement. It's been either a little bit low or a little bit to the side almost every throw he's made.
Yeah, that'll come once he gets warmed up though, because I mean, it's still early in the ball game, so we'll see how he warms up and see what happens after that.
Definitely he's going to cut back up the middle. It's going to be a gain of about 8 yards, I believe. That's Elijah Perry on the handoff.
That was a very nice cutback by Perry there. Got the defense going toward the sideline. They just found a hole and cut right back up the middle.
3rd and inches.
So they're going to have 3rd and inches here. Definitely, I think, within Chris Huey's field goal range now.
Oh, absolutely.
And here's the snap, another handoff, and I believe they're going to stuff this one enough to bring up 4th down.
Looks like it will be a little short, so I imagine Coach Castellano will bring on the field goal unit.
You never know, though, and I think he is, but
yeah, it looks
he
like
will
he's
go
bringing it
for 4th down almost relentlessly. We saw it at Apex, and he just he wants that first down.
Yeah, it's a big risk though if you go for it. If you make it, you're a hero, but if you don't, you're a bum. So it's one of those guessing games where you just gotta just try your luck. Michael Rubino on for the kick.
And it's up, and it is good.
And it's good.
So that's going to put the Mustangs up 10-0 here midway through the first quarter. We're going to take a quick commercial break here at the Sports Block. You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back.
He one block,
and he just shrugs them off.
and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. And we're back at the Sports Block. Quick commercial for that little bit of time in between kickoffs. Rubino's going to come back out on the field and kick it away to the Falcons. And there are just an abundance of elementary school girls with our cheerleaders here tonight. I estimate about 30 or 40 down on the mat with them, and they're pretty loud.
They are adding to the atmosphere here at Middle Creek. So,
and that is a line drive kick from Rubino, and that is going to bounce into the end zone once again, and Green Hope will be forced to play from their 20-yard line. So Green Hope taking their time to get a play going here. And here's the snap. They're going to hand it off, run it up the sideline. He's going to cut back, but he's going to eventually be tackled by a herd of Mustangs for a gain of about 2 or 3.
Warren Messer takes him down.
And I believe in a previous game we did determine it is a herd of Mustangs and not like a pack of Mustangs. I think we solved that last week or last game.
yeah, that's been a big controversy here at the Sports Block. It's always been, well, someone's always said, well, it's a pack of Mustangs, or then someone else will say it's a herd of Mustangs. So we actually looked it up, and it's a herd of Mustangs. So we've got that.
That is settled, and he's back to pass to the sideline. And that's going to be caught just short of the first down. Going to bring up 3rd and 1. Pretty crazy. He's making some noise.
Let's see if the Mustangs can keep getting that penetration that they have earlier in the game against the run offense. The run. So far, they've been penetrating and getting in and stopping the.
And here's the snap. Looks like he's going to run it, and he's got some room to do so. And he's going to slide for the first down.
Tackle by Warren Messer.
So that scramble by Luke will keep the Falcons drive going, and they'll have 1st and 10 with about 4 minutes and 45 seconds left in this first quarter.
And here's the snap back to pass once again down towards the sideline. And he's got an open receiver, and that's going to be caught for a gain of about 20, 30 yards.
That was Jacob Pearl on the tackle for the Mustangs. Jacob Pearl, although he's not very big, he's one of the fiercer Mustang defensive backs. He's really, really quick, and he's got very good instincts. So he plays a major part in the air raid game for the Mustangs and the protecting that.
Yeah, you know, Jacob's only about 5'8". He's built like an absolute tank, and he's an all-conference safety, so definitely a threat to be reckoned with. And here's the snap. Back to pass once again. Quick throw over. He's going to cut up a little bit. That's going to be a gain of about 7 yards on the play.
Yeah, that screen was to Elijah Moraine, and that's one of the more dangerous things in football. You get those little screen routes out to the flats, and if you get a DB who knows what they're doing or is playing really, really uptight to them, they can take that and take it for a pick six. So that's really one of those scary calls as an offensive coordinator and also as a quarterback.
And that was an incomplete pass by Luke Massey. That was intended for number 4, Elijah Moraine.
We'll see how the Mustangs do on this third down stand. So far, they've been doing fairly well, so we'll see if they can keep it up.
And here's the snap back to pass, looking towards the sideline, throws it up, and then almost intercepted by a Mustang cornerback. That's going to bring up 4th and 2nd. They're not in field goal range, so I'll be interested to see if they go for it. A punt's not going to do much here, and I imagine they will.
Yeah, that was Terrence White there on the coverage for the Mustangs. He's a senior this year. He's been one of the star corners for the Mustangs defense this year and last year. So we look forward to seeing more from him throughout this year and this postseason.
4th and 2.
Well, it looks like the Falcons will go for it on 4th down. We'll see what they do.
And here's the snap. Look over to a quick pass to his running back. Don't know if he's going to get it.
Doesn't look like he made it, so that looks like it'll be a turnover on downs for the Falcons, and the Mustangs offense will take over at their 36-yard line.
A nice stop by the Mustangs defense. Looked a little bit scary. Looked like he had some room to run, but a nice job of the defense on collapsing on that runner.
Yeah, they slid down very well, filled their gaps and lanes, and that was one of those screen passes that didn't really do much.
And here's the snap, handoff, going to run for a gain of about 1-2 yards.
Elijah Perry on the run, got about 1-2 yards.
2nd and 9.
Actually, no gain on that play. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10. And here's a snap from Gristle. Another handoff up the middle. And he's got some room to run. Breaks the tackle, runs up the sideline, and he is definitely going to go all the way. That is a monster run by number 4, Elijah Perry.
Nice block by Keon Smith coming from the right side. Number 14 was gaining on Elijah, and Keon just came out of nowhere and laid the boom on him. So that's one of those things that the Mustangs like to see from their wide receivers. They want to see them get very physical, and that's one of Coach Ryder's things at practice. He'll get very physical with the players and make sure they know what to do and make sure they never quit on that play.
Neon Keon is the nickname that he has been given, and for obvious reasons. Obviously not the playmaker in that situation, but just a electric player all around on the field. And Castellano, in one of the previous weeks at the coaches show, really talked about how proud he was of his receivers of blocking and not giving up on a play, and it definitely paid off there. And it's going to be Chris Huey on for the extra kick. It is up, and I believe that's good, and it is good. That's going to put the Mustangs up 17-0 here with 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
The Mustangs offense is coming out very dominant tonight. So earlier in the game and before the show started, me and Will were talking about just how the Mustangs would respond. It was after last week, like we said earlier in the broadcast. The Mustangs didn't score any points in the second half, so we were wondering how that would carry over until tonight. And, well, we've seen the Mustangs have come out a completely different ball team on the offensive side. And scoring those 17 points in this first quarter is going to be a major blow to the Falcons' ego tonight.
Definitely, but I think it's also worth noting that while we are up 17-0, it really hasn't been due to our passing game. It's been our special teams made the block punt and scored it for the touchdown. We kicked a field goal, and then we got a run into the end zone. I'm not very impressed so far with Brant's performance. I mean, obviously I can't do much better, but he's missing his targets just by a little bit, and it's really taken away from the passing game.
Yeah, that's one of those things Brant will work out of. It's like I said, it's earlier in the game, so he's still got 3 more quarters of football and 3 minutes and 4 seconds left in this first quarter. So he'll turn it around for sure, because Mustangs offense always finds a way to do their part.
And the kick is up and away, and that one's going to be fielded at about the 1 yard line. They're actually going to be able to run it up this time. He's going to be stopped at around the 20-yard line, maybe a little bit behind. I think they're going to spot it at the 19. And that was just a beautiful kick, really perfectly placed at the 1 yard line so they couldn't take a kneel in the end zone.
Yeah, Michael Rubino's done a great job so far for the Mustangs this year. He played a little bit last year for the Mustangs, and he's really shown to be one of the more powerful kickers for the Mustangs, really adding the extra distance to the kickoffs. And Chris Huey's more of the place kicker for the Mustangs, the extra point, and he does some of the kickoffs and field goals. So they really share the role.
And there's a pass to number 16. That's Daniel Gretsch.
Catch made by Reddish. Tackle by Alex Sutton. The first down, Green Hope.
And that's going to put Green Hope on their 35-yard line.
Looks like the Mustangs are showing the blitz. We'll see if they do. Looks like they will.
Massey back to pass. Tip.
Oh! Just tipped at the line. Almost intercepted over there by the right end. Had it in his hands, but the lineman actually played good defense. The offensive lineman for the Falcons played good defense. And that's one of those things you got to do as a lineman and just as an offensive player in general, because those passes can get tipped, and sometimes the tides change, and you got to be a defensive player. So that was good thinking by him.
And, you know, the Falcons really can't afford to give up any more turnovers. They're already down 17-0 here in this first quarter, and you really cannot let the game slip away against these Mustangs, because they will trample. A herd of Mustangs will trample all over you.
Yeah, the Mustangs are they're really a strong team. And once they get you down, it's really, really hard to come back, as we've seen throughout these games so far this season. Once they get up big, it's the tides never really change. The opposing team can never really seem to get that one big play that can get them sparked again. And so the Mustangs just continue to show dominance on the field.
And that run's going to be stuffed for a loss of about a yard or two.
So it looks like it'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Falcons. We'll see how the Mustangs defense can respond.
I can tell you how the Creek Crazies are responding, and that is pretty loud. Long snap count, hikes the ball, throws it towards the sideline, and miscommunication by the receiver. It looked like he tripped a little bit, but that's going to bring up 4th and 10, and they will be forced to punt here.
Yeah, they're too deep in their own territory to go for the first down. So you don't want to give the Mustangs any better field position than you have to. So we'll see how the Mustangs defense comes on this on the special teams to block the punt, see if they can. It looks like they're going to bring the whole house again, so we'll see how they respond.
And this is Jay Schuler getting ready to receive the ball. If it doesn't get blocked again, and they might have a shot and a line drive kick right to Schuler. He's going to run it up the sideline knocked out at around the 50-yard line, so that's going to be good field position for these Mustangs.
Mustangs will actually start on the Green Hope side of the field at the 49-yard line, so we'll see how Brandt comes out in this possession. Like Will said earlier, he hasn't been as strong, but he's starting to feel it now. He's going to start coming out and playing some good ball.
Here's a snap. They're going to hand it off. He's going to find a hole, going to get a gain of about 2 or 3 yards.
That was Josh Drake on the carry. And he's one of the bigger running backs we have in this Mustangs program. He's still only a freshman, so you take that size and multiply that by 4, and we'll see how much he grows in the coming years.
I hope he doesn't grow by 4 times. That'd be scary. And Crystal back to pass under pressure, throws it off to a receiver. He's going to
Keon Smith. Ooh. Looks like we got a flag on the play.
I believe that's going to be a face mask against Green Hope. It looked like Keon almost slipped. I think that maybe a hand had come in and grabbed his face mask.
Yeah, from up here it looked like it was for one of the Falcons. It looked like a desperation grab, and he must have gotten a finger or something held onto the face mask, and so I guess it's a face mask. We'll see what the officials calls right here. Looks like it'll be holding against the offense.
And a face mask on Green Hope.
So those penalties will offset. So Mustangs will stay right there, and it will remain 2nd and 8 for them.
Crystal back to pass. Throws it over the middle. Dangerous throw. There were 3 Green Hope defenders there.
Yeah, that's one of those passes that you just need to take and either pull it down and run with it or just throw it away, because there was no way that pass could be caught. And it was a very dangerous pass. It could have been easily intercepted.
And Green Hope looks like they're showing blitz here. Looks like Crystal might have called an audible. And here's the snap. They are bringing the blitz. Good coverage by the O-line. Throws it to the sideline and almost picked off by a Green Hope defender. Another dangerous throw.
And that pass will bring up 4th down for the Mustangs, and we'll have Michael Rubino back to kick the punt to the Falcons. Looks like Elijah Moraine jogging on the field for the Falcons who will be deep to receive this kick.
Moraine deep for Green Hope.
And a booming punt. That one's going to land at about the 20 and bounce out around the 17-yard line. So, again, not the greatest field position for Green Hope.
Yeah, Green Hope's continually had bad field position. They've started at the 20-yard line their first 2 drives, and these last 2 drives they started at their 19. So the Mustangs are doing a very good job of either just placing them deep within their own territory with their punts or just kicking it out of bounds, and that's forcing them to stay deep. They're not allowing them to get any momentum, as I stated earlier. So we'll see if the Mustangs can continue this and see how they come out after that previous 4th down.
And here's the snap. Going to be a run that's going to be stuffed for either no gain or a loss of about a yard.
Stopped by Brendan Weinberg.
And about 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. Clock is running down.
So it looks like the Falcons will get one last play off in this quarter. We'll see. It depends on if they can hurry up and snap the ball. We'll see. No, and they will not get it off.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. We're going to go down to Madison Jaggers for a first quarter summary at the sideline.
Mustangs would like to thank sponsor Crooked Creek Golf Club.
The Mustangs are off to a great start tonight with defense putting 6 points on the board thanks to a block kick before offense even took the field. Then followed by another touchdown, making the score 17-0 against Green Hope. This is Madison Jaggers back to Will on the board.
Thanks, Madison. We're going to take a quick commercial break here at the Sports Block. You guys stay tuned for the second quarter. He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two. And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog. He one block, and he shrugs them off, and he makes another two. up. That's an absolute thrill into the back of the end zone. And we're back with the sports block. Green Hope taking the ball over at the 19-yard line on their side of the field. That's going to be snapped and thrown over the middle, tipped by a Mustang defender, but that's going to fall for an incomplete pass.
Looks like there's a flag down in the backfield. Looks like it might be roughing the passer on the Mustangs, and that's what it will be. So that'll be an automatic first down for the Falcons, and so we'll see how they see if this does anything to change their momentum a little bit.
Personal foul on the Mustangs, roughing the passer. Results in the Falcons first down.
That's going to put the ball on the Falcons' 32-yard line, 1st and 10.
Looks like the Mustangs are making a few changes out there defensively, making a couple audibles, trying to adjust to the Falcons' offense. Looks like they got a trips left, so we'll see possibly a screen, but looks like it'll be offsides on the Mustangs. And that will lead to a Falcons 1st and 5 at their 37-yard line. So they're slowly inching down the field by a couple Mustang mistakes. You had the personal foul last play, and then just then you had the encroachment. So let's see if the Mustangs can start coming back together. They kind of lost the mental aspect there.
And the ball is snapped, thrown over to the sideline. That's an open receiver. Number 11, that's Jordan Johnson.
Pass completed to Reddick. Hartshort on the tackle. Hartshort in stands. First down, Falcons.
And Green Hope has definitely taken their time here tonight. With what plays they're calling, it hasn't really been a hurry-up offense type feel, even though that's kind of what they're going for. It's going to be run up the middle. That's going to be stuffed.
Yeah, just like all game, the Mustangs have been doing very well, coming into just destroying the offensive line, really breaking through and stuffing the run off the run, and just not allowing the Falcons to get any yards really on the ground.
We just got an update on the Panther Creek Cary game. Panther Creek leads 3-0 after the end of the first quarter.
So we'll look to keep you guys updated on that score, since I believe the Mustangs play Panther Creek next week, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I remember seeing that in high school OT. I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah, Middle Creek plays Panther Creek next week. They play them at Panther Creek.
It's at Panther Creek. So again, the Mustangs will be on the road next week, and so we'll see how that works out.
And there's a delay of game. I don't know exactly what's going on the field. I believe we're going to take a quick commercial timeout. You guys stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Block.
One block. Oh!
And we're right back. So not as big of a delay as the game as we thought. Here's the snap. Throw over to the sideline. That's number 22 with the reception. They're going to tackle him.
Yeah, that was John Nassif, who's also one of the captains for the Falcons. He's another one of their primary receivers for Luke, and he's a very big target, as you can see. So Luke's got a whole range of target sizes and skills, where you see Elijah's more of a fast and really is kind of small, but he's very quick, and John's more along the lines of a tight end, a smaller tight end, but he's a very big target and seems to have good hands, so we'll see how he factors into the game.
It's odd, though, because on the roster sheet he's listed as a quarterback, so maybe a position change, and that's going to be caught by number 6, I believe. That is Bryce Dixon. He's a sophomore, and that's going to bring up first down for the Green Hope Falcons.
Mustangs had very good pressure there. Actually, I believe number 68 got in there and had the hurry. He actually sacked him, so he got the ball off. But I mean, still, it plays a major part in the quarterback's mental stability, because once he knows that they're getting to him early, it really messes with their timing and can mess them up in the long run.
And that's going to be a timeout by Green Hope. We're going to take a quick commercial break for real this time. You guys stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Block.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. And we are back at the Sports Block. I believe this is the first time that Green Hope has been in Mustang territory on offense. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is correct. They are on the 39-yard line with 1st and 10. And here's the snap. They're going to throw it up towards the sideline, and maybe incomplete. Tough for us to see as that's on the other side of the field, but that's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was good defense by Terrence White over there on the far side. He's not one of our bigger cornerbacks, but he's very athletic, and he can get up there, and he can hold his own basically against any receiver in this conference.
Yeah, definitely one of our playmakers on defense.
Absolutely, he's one of the he's really the heart and soul of this defense, because everyone kind of feeds off of his momentum and his just enthusiasm for the game and just how he responds.
And they're going to run it up the sideline. He's going to run out of bounds. A little bit scared of that Mustang defender. Can't say I blame him. That's going to be a gain of about 2 yards, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like Uric Sands helped force them out of bounds. So that was a good job of coming up, getting off the block and coming up and forcing them and keeping the yards to a minimum. So 3rd and 8 for the Mustangs defense, and we'll see if they can get a stop here and force another punt for the Falcons.
And here is the snap back to pass. Throws it over the head of his receiver. That's going to bring up 4th down. And I don't know if they'll go for it or not. They're on the 35-yard line of the Mustangs. Not exactly field goal range for their kicker. Not exactly punting range. And it looks like the offense will, in fact, stay out here on the field.
Yeah, that last pass was intended for number 16, Daniel Gretsch. So we'll see who Luke decides to throw to this time. It's just one of those things that you always got to be prepared for this kind of thing going on 4th down and stuff. So we'll see if they have anything left in the arsenal to pull out.
And here is the snap. Under pressure, he's going to scramble around towards Green Hope's sideline. Can't get any receivers open, just dumps it off. Going to be caught by a Mustang defender, however, out of bounds. So that is going to be a turnover on down. So Mustang's going to take over on their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, that Mustangs D has played a very, very major part in this ball game so far, and it's still early in the game, still 2nd quarter. So the Mustangs have a lot to build on, and we'll see how Brant and the Mustangs offense comes out and responds to that 4th down stop.
And here's a snap from Gristle. Throws it over the middle, and that's caught by, I believe, I can't exactly tell who that is. He's going to cut it up and going to be tackled at around the 25-yard line. That is a huge gain for the Mustangs. And there is actually, I believe that's a flag in the backfield. I think that one's going to come back.
Yeah, those holding penalties can really kill a drive right there. That was a huge gain by the Mustangs, and it was a good pass by Grant, but I guess just one of the offensive linemen got a little bit too much jersey back there, and that's always one of those things that you got to just be aware of as an offensive lineman. Don't want to mess up one of those plays like that.
And just a quick scoring update. Holly Springs leads Athens Drive 20-0. We'll keep you updated on all things around the SWAC. I missed the try 9. That doesn't flow at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's the throw from Gristle. That's going to be incomplete. That looked like some pass interference, but it is not going to be called. That's going to bring up third, and if the scoreboard is right, 26.
Yeah, going back to what you said about missing the try 9, it's just one of those things that I guess it just had to be done, basically. So basically the try 9 back, and just a little bit of history lesson for all you folks out there listening in. The try 9 originally included teams from Harnett County, which was Harnett Central, Lee County, and teams from the triangle. So that included the Tri-County name. And so I believe in the early 2000s, Harnett Central actually left the Tri-9 and joined another conference. And so it was just left with Lee County and the rest of the triangle teams. Well, with the realignment of the conferences this past year, and Lee County, but with Lee County just moving to 3A, it kind of took away the tri and the extra county. So they just changed it to the SWAC conference, which stands for the Southwestern Wake Athletic Conference, and it includes just all the Mustang teams, or the Tri-9 teams basically, except Harnett Central and Lee County.
And that's a nice history lesson for all you viewers out there. I didn't know that personally. 4th and 26, Mustang's going to punt it away here. It's going to be land at around the 50, going to take a Green Hope bounce, and it's going to go out and around the 49-yard line. And as we saw on that third down play by Gristle, had a receiver open, just overthrew him. And Tyler, I'm not sure if the beginning of the game jitters is really an excuse anymore for Brent. I mean, it was he had the nice pass on the penalty, but other than that, I haven't really been impressed with how he's been thrown tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. You get quarterbacks, they're human, and they all have their own. They have their good games and they have their bad games. And it just seems like Brant's just being kind of slow here to start off the game. So, I mean, it's just one of those things that he'll have to work on and make an adjustment at halftime.
And that pass is caught, and he's going to be brought out of bounds for a gain of about 5. And for all you viewers who have tuned in for previous home games, you will notice my ability to gauge how many yards a play receives has improved significantly. I've been practicing at home. I've been practicing on professional football games, and it's really paying off.
Yeah, well, I hate to say it, but it was kind of an embarrassment for all of us. I mean, it's just one of those things you just like, Will, just come on now.
Yeah, I've improved on that. I don't like embarrassing my colleagues. That's going to be thrown for a first down.
So it looks like the Falcons are driving deep into the Mustangs territory. So we'll see if this drive can continue for them, or if the Mustangs will prevail and get a nice stop here.
And Green Hope getting ready to make a play here. And here's the snap, looking to pass, throws it over short, and he's going to be drilled by a Mustang defender for a loss of about 3 or 4 yards.
Looks like King Kiaku out there with the tackle. And that's one of those screen passes out to the flats that can always be a little bit of a head scratcher sometimes.
And I just got to do it. It's a tradition at this point. King Kiaku is in Nick Holliday's math class. That is Nick Holliday's claim to fame. Unfortunately, he cannot join us here tonight. He has the SAT in the morning. We miss you, brother. And here's the snap, back to pass. and thrown over the middle. Dangerous throw, and no one's going to come down with that. 2 defenders in the area, and they're going to break that one up.
Yeah, that one was almost intercepted by Alex Sutton out there, who's, I believe he's a sophomore or a junior this year. So he's one of the younger Mustangs on this varsity defense. And so he's done a very good job of holding his own out there. So as you can hear, the Mustang Creek Crazies are getting extremely loud.
And a long snap count trying to draw a penalty, and in fact they do.
Looks like it'll be false start on the Falcons.
And I gotta say, I was a little disappointed when I found out that Cary student section is called the Cary Crazies. I kind of feel like we should get Creek Crazies trademarked or something so that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's just one of those unwritten rules that you don't do.
And they did, and they broke it.
Yep, and that's something we'll have to settle out on the football field, which hopefully we can put a beat down on them this coming year. So we'll see how that works out as the Falcons come back after that 3rd down false start.
And here is the snap. Thrown deep. Interception.
Intercepted by Terrence White.
He's going to bring that one up the field. He's going to juke an offender. He's going to run up the sideline. He has a chance to go all the way here. And he's going to get pushed out of bounds at around the 20-yard line. A monster play by Terrence White. And if there's any momentum going for Green Hope, it has just been completely shattered.
Yeah, that was a real big bone crusher to the Falcons right there. But I believe we have a flag out at the line of scrimmage. So we'll see what that penalty is. And if it's anything against the Falcons, I'm sure Coach Castellano is going to decline it. So looks like the Mustangs will continue to hold the ball down at about the 24-yard line of Green Hope.
Yeah, and you want to know how I know that the ball wasn't about to go back? Coach Castellano wasn't up in the referee's face yelling at him about it.
Yeah, that's one of his signatures right there. If he doesn't like something, he will be very vocal and he will let you know. So that's one of those big things for Coach Castellano. And I don't know if anybody saw, but King Kiaku had a bone-crushing hit out here around the 45-yard line. Just absolutely destroyed one of the Green Hope Falcons.
So Mustang's going to have the ball here on Green Hope's 11. And the offense looks like they're catching their breath a little bit. Here's a snap to Gristle. They're going to hand it off, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield for a loss of a yard or 2.
That was Elijah Perry on the carry. And the Green Hope defensive line did a very good job of anticipating that run, and they just broke through the line of scrimmage and got Elijah for a loss.
And here's the snap. He's going to throw it up, and that is going to be tipped away by a Green Hope defender. A nice play.
That pass was intended to Jay Schuler, and he's one of the big Mustang targets this year. And surprisingly, Brant hasn't really thrown to him that much this game, so he's starting to spread it out a little bit. But we'll see if now with a 14 yards to go for the first down, we'll see if Brant kind of hones in on Jay.
Yeah, and you talk about Jay being a big receiver for this Middle Creek offense. And he's really had to adopt that role as Curtis Bernston's still out with his injury, and he's back to pass, throws it into the end zone. That looked like a very kind of early hit from that Green Hope defender, but they're not going to call anything. That's going to bring up 4th and 14, and I imagine that Chris Hugh will be out to tack on the field goal.
Yeah, it looks like the field goal unit's coming out. Michael Rubino will be on to attempt this field goal.
I always wonder how they kind of determine who's going to be the kicker, because at certain games it seems like Chris Huey does the field goals and the point after attempts, and Rubino's punting and kicking off, but it seems like they kind of have switched it up this game where Rubino's doing everything but extra points.
Yeah, that's just a coaching decision right there, Will, I believe. It's just one of those things that as a coaching staff they agree on, and so it's all for the betterment of the team. So, and as we saw there, Michael Rubino just held up his end of the bargain right there, just putting it right through the uprights. So after that field goal, the Mustangs lead 20-0 here with 6.5 minutes left in this first half.
Yeah, and Green Hope's pretty lucky to come away with only a field goal. Mustangs had the ball on the 11-yard line with on first down, so I guess kind of a nice job by Green Hope's defense of holding them to a field goal. About 6.5 minutes left here in this first half, and Green Hope's going to want to put some points on the board before they go into that locker room. Even a field goal is going to make a world of a difference for the morale going into halftime.
Yeah, that's got to be one of their main goals right here. The defense did their job by holding the Mustangs to just a field goal, and like you said earlier, Will, that's one of those big victories for the Falcons defense. It's the small things that can lead to bigger things, and so like right here, their main goal needs to be putting points on this board just so they can keep the goose egg off.
And here's the kickoff, a line drive, and that one's going to bounce out of bounds, I believe, and they're going to throw the flag on that. Almost a good punt. It was at about the 2-yard line when it went out, and it didn't look like it was going to bounce into the end zone. Unfortunately, bounced towards the sideline.
Yeah, so the Falcons will get their best starting field position of the whole game. They'll start at their own 35-yard line. So let's see if they can meet that goal and put some points on the board before halftime.
And here's the snap. They're going to hand it off to number 26. He's going to take it up the sideline for no gain. That was Demetrius Massenberg, the senior.
Yeah, the Mustangs had they filled their gaps very well on the far side of the field, and they just broke their blocks and got in there on the tackles.
And here's the snap. He's going to do a quick throw over to the sideline, and he's going to be tackled for a gain of about 5.
And we have a score update for the Panther Creek Cary game. Panther Creek is up 10-0 against Cary right about now, and probably in the second quarter, halfway through.
Thank you. And if you're watching the game on the Sports Block and maybe need to go in the kitchen, grab something, you can always follow the Sports Block Twitter page. I believe it is Sports Block US at Sports Block USA. No? I'll figure that one out. Thrown over to the sideline. That's going to be caught for a first down.
Forced out of bounds by Terrence White. Not before the Falcons get a first down.
And the internet is not being nice to us. We're trying to figure out our Twitter handle, and Twitter is saying no. First and 10, ball on the 47-yard line. Ball is snapped, and he's going to be under pressure in the pocket, and he's going to go down for a Middle Creek sack. That's going to be a loss of about 5 yards.
Looks like Keen Kiaku there on the sack, and that was good pressure. That was good pressure by the Mustangs defense of breaking through the line and forcing the pocket to collapse and forcing Luke to do what they wanted him to do.
And I was close on the Twitter handle. It's at SportsBlock MCHS, all one word. So 2nd and 16, that sack was for a loss and a fumble. That's going to be a bad snap and almost stripped again. Surprised Green Hope kept the ball, and that's going to be an even greater loss for these Falcons. And they are just not really getting anything going their way here in this first half.
Looks like Luke's a little shaken up on the play, limping a little bit. And like I stated earlier, that goal that they had set, or that they should have set, it's not looking very, very promising right now. So the Creek Crazies are getting extremely loud, so we'll see how that affects this 3rd down and 24 for the Falcons.
Yeah, things typically look pretty bleak when you're at 3rd and 24.
Especially in the Mustang Stadium with the Creek Crazies and just all the fans and parents here.
And here's the snap, looking to throw. Doesn't have anybody open, under pressure, almost hit as he throws it. An dangerous throw, almost intercepted, then again almost caught, but that's going to bring up 4th and 24, and I really hope these Falcons are about to punt the ball.
Yeah, it looks like they're bringing on the punt team, and Jay Schuler will go deep for the Mustangs to return. We'll see if the Mustangs can get another block punt, make it their 2nd block punt of the game. So far, they've been very close to blocking every punt, so we'll see if that streak continues.
And here's the kick. Pressure again. That's a nice booming kick. That's going to go out at around the 40-yard line in Mustangs territory.
Mustangs take over on their own 41-yard line.
So about 3 minutes left here in this 2nd quarter. Mustangs can really drive the nail through the coffin with another score here. Almost as if they haven't already. It's 20-0, but if they really want to make it out of reach, 27-0 is a huge lead, and that's going to be thrown over to the receiver, or tossed over rather, for no gain, maybe a loss.
Looks like there's a flag on the play out on the far side, so we'll see what the call is here.
False start on the Mustangs.
Looks like it'll be false start against Middle Creek, so
it's going to bring up 1st and 15 on their own 30-yard line, I believe.
Actually, it looks like Green Hope has chosen to decline the penalty, so that will leave the Mustangs at 2nd and 11 from their 35, from the 40, sorry.
Here's a snap to Gristle. Throws over towards the sideline, caught, reeled in for a gain of about 4 yards.
Keon Smith is deep out of bounds, pass incomplete.
We have another score update. We have the Apex game, and Apex is up 14-7 against Fuquay, probably leading into halftime or close to halftime.
And that's interesting because Fuquay coming off a loss last week, I believe. That's a dangerous throw, and that is obvious pass interference.
That was major pass interference, and so that will be a big, big penalty for Green Hope, and that really puts a stunt in their game.
There's also a flag in the backfield. I don't know if you can see that, so we'll be interested to see what happens here.
Looks like we got holding on the Mustangs, and it'll be pass interference, and those will offset, so it'll remain 3rd down, so they'll replay the down.
And the Falcons got quite lucky on that because there was no way that anything should have happened there. They got extremely lucky with the holding call and just an overall dumb play for the Falcons.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you're down by 20 points. You really cannot afford to make any mental mistakes.
Looks like the Mustangs tried to draw the Falcons offside, making it even shorter, 3rd down.
And here's the snap, looking to throw. Got time in the pocket. No, he's going to scramble. That's going to be thrown and caught.
Pass complete to Troy Dybel. Looks like, or maybe it was Jay Schuler.
Almost got it. He was about to cross that line for the 1st down, and he just got pulled back by the defender. So I guess a nice play by Greenhope, and looks like Middle Creek's going to go for it here on 4th and 1.
Yeah, that pass was completed to Troy Dybel, and he tried to run, but the defender just got too much of him, and he just couldn't quite make it. So we'll see how the Mustangs choose to do here.
And the Mustangs taking their time to pick a play here. Is that Castellano talking? Castellano was talking to the ref real quick.
Looks like he was just gonna let the clock wind down and talk it over with his team, see what they want to do here.
And with that timeout, we're going to take a quick commercial break here at the Sports Block. You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another 2.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another 2.
And kick is up. That's a.
All right, and welcome back from that commercial break. As we were mentioning earlier in the game, we were talking about the Mustangs' involvement in the community, and it looks like we have some of those people coming out tonight to support us, and some of the medical professionals who come out and support the Mustangs and help them out.
And that's going to be a long run. He's going to bring it up the sideline. Needs to get past the defender. Not going to be able to do it. He's going to be pushed out at around the 20-yard line. So another big run for the Mustangs.
Elijah Perry has played a major part in the Mustangs' success here in the first half. He's got a lot of yards and a lot of carries here, so he's playing one of the major roles. He's actually taken over for Brandt in the production category right here. Pass was intercepted in the end zone.
Pass to Keon Smith is intercepted.
Looks like there's a little contact there, but doesn't look like the Mustangs got the call, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons from their own 13-yard line.
Flag on the play.
And they threw a flag over towards the Middle Creek sideline, and I have to imagine this is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against one of the coaches. Is kind of thrown right at him. And they're going to have a few words with him. Uh-oh. And there's some John. That's Castellano. And he's waving in the ref's face.
I don't blame Castellano on that. That was a terrible call out there in the end zone by the back judge. He completely missed that call because there's a bunch of contact there on Keon, and which altered the outcome of the play.
So I guess no penalty was given. I did see the flag fly. And back to pass. He's going to throw it over towards the sideline. It's going to be tipped by Mustang defender. 2nd and 10.
Looks like it was Tom Hartshorn out there on the coverage.
And here's the snap. They're going to do a delayed handoff. Up the middle, he's going to be tackled for a short gain.
Tackled by Thomas Harshorn. Timeout Mustangs.
And the Mustangs are going to call a timeout here, and so are we. You're watching the Sports Block. We will be right back.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. And we right back with the Sports Block. Green Hope on the 18-yard line. They need 5 yards for a first down.
I don't think Mr. Petty was listening in, so he didn't really hear that. But
Inside joke, which is not going to get you hired anywhere as a sports broadcaster. Back to snap, and he's going to be sacked for a loss. A big play by the Mustangs defense, and I don't think Green Hope's going to be able to go for it here on around their 15-yard line.
Coach Castellano quickly ran up and called a timeout there. I believe that is the last timeout for the Mustangs of the half. So that was a very strategic timeout by Coach Castellano, stopping the clock with 52 seconds left and possibly giving the Mustangs another chance to score.
Sacked by Terry Patterson.
And with that timeout, we're going to take a quick commercial break. You guys stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Block.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog. And we are back with the Sports Block. We're going to go over for a score update.
Panther Creek is leading Cary 17-0 in the beginning of the second half.
And they will punt it here.
Looks like we got Jay Schuler deep to return.
And more pressure. Here's Schuler with the return. He's going to run it up the sideline. And he obviously stepped out of bounds. They blew the play dead, and that was a pretty late hit on Schuler. But that's going to give Mustangs pretty good field position in Green Hope territory.
So the Mustangs will take over 1st and 10 with about 45 seconds left in this first half. So we'll see how they respond, how they can come out.
Gristle with the throw, almost intercepted again. And
Branch is not really making good decisions right now. This is one of those things that you gotta work out of. He's in a little bit of a slump right now, so there's always slumps. In any sport you play, there's always slumps. So he'll get through it. He's just got to work through it and keep on playing football. That's all he's got to do.
And in watching Brant throw the ball, his mechanics look a little off due to his leg injury. He's throwing a little too forceful, and he's not stepping into it. He's just kind of throwing it instead of stepping into it to get a more accurate throw.
that was a good throw right there. Unfortunately, dropped by the receiver. But what exactly is wrong with Brant's leg?
I'm not exactly sure. It seems the way that I've seen him walk, it seems to be a right hamstring injury. That's just an assumption. I have not been told the exact injury, but he's not as mobile as shown right there.
I have no idea what that was. But that's going to bring up 4th and 10, and Mustangs are going to be forced to punt. And they might go for it. They're in kind of that no man's land, but no, they will bring out the punt team.
Yeah, you can see Brant limping off a little bit right there. So you were right there. That was just indecision right there by Brant. He just looks like he wanted to pass, but he decided to run and then just kind of pass it. So
they're going for the field goal here. This is going to be about a 50-yard field goal. It looks like. Rubino's kick is up, and for the first time I've ever seen it, does not have the distance, had the accuracy. But that's going to be a short by just a few yards.
Seems to look like it got tipped maybe a little bit because Rubino does not normally kick short. I've never seen him in practice kick short ever.
Yeah, I know. He's got an absolute boot.
So with 20 seconds left, the Falcons will take over at their own 20-yard line. So we'll see if they see what they decide to do, whether they just run the clock out and go into halftime down by 20, or see if they actually make a charge to put some points on the board.
And here's the snap. They're actually going to run the ball and going nowhere up the middle. And he will not go down.
Stampede the Mustangs finally taken down.
It looks like the Falcons will let the clock run out, and that'll lead to halftime with the Mustangs leading 20-0.
And with that said, we're going to go into halftime with Mustangs leading, you said it, 20-0. But before we do, we're going to go down to Madison Jaggers for a halftime report.
As the second quarter comes to an end, the Mustangs lead 20-0 thanks to an interception that resulted in a field goal. This is Madison Jaggers back to Will in the box.
Thanks, Madison. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the halftime show by the band, and then after that, the third quarter. You're watching the Sports Block.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an
absolute drill into the back of the end zone.
Thank you for tonight's performance. Last weekend at the Panther Creek Invitational, Middle Creek Mustangs took first place drum major, first place color guard, first place percussion, first place music, and first place general effect, second for visual overall, and second for visual and first place overall in the Class 2A. Congratulations to the mighty marching Mustang Band. Our next competition is next Saturday, October 12th at West Austin High School. Wish us luck, and we hope to see you there.
He one block, and he shrugs them off, and
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
he one block, and he shrugs them off, and he another
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he shrugs them off, and he another
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he shrugs them off, and he another
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he shrugs them off, and he another
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he shrugs them off, and he another
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he shrugs them off, and he another
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he shrugs them off, and he another
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And we're back with the Sports Block. A nice halftime performance by our band, and Middle Creek's looking to seal the deal here against Green Hope. They lead 20-0, and they will be receiving this ball to start off the half. And a nice kick by his fingers, so that's going to be very poor field position for the Mustangs, about the 5-yard line, I believe.
Yeah, that's not the way you want to start the second half, so we'll see how the Mustangs can come back from that.
I'll be interested to see what adjustments Brent makes as well. He was not looking at his best to begin this game.
Yeah, I'm sure throughout the halftime, Coach Bordeaux, the offensive coordinator, and the quarterback coach were just talking to Brant, trying to calm him down, just getting him to make smart decisions and just play the game of football.
And here's the snap. They're going to hand it off. He's going to go up the middle, and there's a fumble. And I believe, Green Hope has recovered the football. So quick shift of momentum over to Green Hope is now they're in striking distance, and it'll be up to this Middle Creek defense to prevent to hold them to a field goal.
Yeah, that's not the way your offense wants to start the second half. So we'll see how this Mustang defense can help out that offense by limiting the points that the Falcons can get.
Of course, they have a 20-point buffer, but that's 3 possessions. It's not little, but it's not also to the point where you can just kind of cruise through the game. That's going to be a flag, I believe, on the Mustangs.
Looks like false start against the Falcons, so that'll move them back. That gives the Mustangs defense a little bit of cushion there. And also, I guess, if you got to find a positive thing out of this situation here the Mustangs defense are in, it's actually 1st and goal from the 14. So the Falcons have to go 14 yards to get a touchdown, and there's no chance to get a first down. So works in the Mustangs' favor a little bit.
Here's the snap. Looking towards the sideline, throws it over there, and picked by the Mustangs.
Intercepted by Thomas Hartshorn out here on the flat.
That was a beautiful play, a beautiful read by the defense, and that's going to be spotted on Middle Creek's 9. So once again, they won't have field position, but that will negate the fumble by the Mustangs, and we're pretty much right back where we started at the beginning of the half.
Yeah, that Mustangs defense really helped out the Mustangs offense, so we'll see if the offense can put a little drive together, give that defense a little rest.
And I imagine if you're Green Hope, you're just sad because you can't really catch a break in a play-action pass. They're going to throw it over towards the sideline. He's going to break a tackle or two before being pushed out of bounds. But really nothing going for Green Hope right now. Absolutely nothing has gone their way.
They got that turnover, and then the next play they throw that interception to Hartshorn. So it's just going to be – it's been one of those games, and we'll see if it continues to be.
And here's the handoff. He's going to be wrapped up and tackled for – I believe he's going to have the first down. Yeah, they're moving the chain, so first down for the Mustangs.
And that's enough for Middle Creek. First down.
Here's a snap, another handoff, finds a hole, but that gets closed pretty quickly. A flag is thrown on the field. Not quite sure what that was for. What do you think, Tyler?
Looks like it was probably holding because I believe that was one of the line judges just threw the flag. And usually those penalties the flags that are thrown right at the line of scrimmage are usually holding calls.
So, in fact, that will be a holding penalty against the Mustangs. And I just want to point out, it's already 9:08. We're only about halfway done with this game, and we're going to be here for quite a while, it seems.
Some of us, including myself, have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning for the SAT, so it's going to be a long morning.
Others of us do not. I don't know who that would be, but that sucks. That really stinks.
Yeah, I can't imagine who that person would be.
I'm already about 8 minutes past my bedtime, so this game needs to wrap up pretty quick, and that run's going to go nowhere. 2nd and 20.
Second and 20.
So Mustangs need to get out of their pretty much end zone here.
Yeah, this is going to be a big drive for the Mustangs. They got to get out of the
and that was pretty much intercepted by number 20 for Greenhope. That's Troy Maslowski, and it looked like he had the pick, and then another teammate kind of came out and knocked it out of his hands. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's just concentration thing right there. He had it in his hands, just didn't catch it. So Mustangs got a lucky break there, and they got to get all the way out to their 30-yard line for a first down.
But I also want to know who that was intended for, because it looked like he just threw it right up the defender, and same thing there. I don't know if that one got deflected or.
Yeah, I believe that one got deflected. So
dangerous territory here for the Mustangs. They're going to be deep in their end zone for this punt.
And we're going to go to Daniel over here with a score update from Apex and Fuquay. Daniel?
Well, at the beginning of the second half, Apex is beating Fuquay 21-7 right at the beginning of the second half. Back to you guys.
And Fuquay is our last game of the season. They're typically a very strong program, and that punt very close to being blocked. He's going to call a fair catch at around the 38-yard line, which is great field position for Greenhope. We'll see if they'll finally capitalize on this. Here's the snap, looking to throw the ball. Blitz by the Mustangs, dumps it off to number 4, and he's going to get wrapped up and tackled. That's Elijah Rain, the wide receiver, and I believe that was Jacob Pearl on the tackle.
Yeah, Pearl kind of snuck up in there and kind of made the initial hit, and then you had a whole herd of Mustangs come in and join in on the effort to hold him down.
2nd and 5, ball on the 35-yard line. And here's a dump off to the back, and he's going to take it and run it up the field for a first down.
So far coming out of the gates for Greenhope, looks like they're putting together a few good drives right here. They had a nice little screen play there, and the play before that was a nice screen to Elijah Moraine. But they must have had some good halftime adjustments, because they're coming out strong against this Mustang defense so far in this third quarter.
Just see if they can finally capitalize on their good field position and finally getting a drive going. Here's the snap. They're going to toss it over to the back. He's going to fall forward for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards.
That was Kane Kiaku on the tackle for the Mustangs.
So 2nd and 6.
So far this game, the Falcons offense hasn't been as fast-paced as we would have expected. Oh, fumble.
picks it up. He's still looking to throw the ball, but no, he gets tackled at the ankles by a Middle Creek defender. And Mustangs driving Green Hope out of their field goal range once again.
It just seems like the Falcons keep shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, they get good field position and they start driving, and then you either have a penalty or they have that fumbled snap right there, as you saw. It's just they're not mentally into the game, and they're not able to capitalize on those chances that they get.
I don't think they'll get the first down here. They just need to get into field goal range. And watching the kicker warm up, I really don't think that's a very far range. That's going to be caught and shrugged off a Middle Creek defender and jogged into the end zone for the first Green Hope score of this game.
Well, I guess I was proven wrong there. And I guess we all were thinking they were just going to go field goal range, but it seems like they found this opening and they got through it for the touchdown.
So that's going to push the game to 20-7 pending the extra point attempt. And Mustangs, while they're leading, may come down with some trouble they had at Apex, and that's scoring in the second half. We really just need our offensive leader, Brent Gristle, to step up his game, and that extra point is good.
Extra point is good. Green Hope's on the board.
Even though that score came in at a timely position for the Falcons, I'm sure they would have liked to have that earlier in the second quarter, toward the end of it, just so they could go into halftime with a little bit of momentum. And but it seems like they've got it now, so we'll see if this affects the rest of their play throughout the game.
And Green Hope getting ready to kick it off.
Deep for the Mustangs, we have Keon Smith and number 10, Terrence White.
And Creek Crazy's making a lot of noise. Kicker's getting ready to kick it away. And that is going to be a kind of short kick fielded at around the 10-15 yard line. He's going to run it up, cut up the middle, break a tackle or two, and get it a little bit shy of the 35 yard line. So good field position. And everyone here at the sports block and everyone here from the Stampede Club, as well as Middle Creek High School as a whole, would like to thank all of our sponsors for their contributions and support of Middle Creek athletics, as well as other Middle Creek programs and extracurricular activities. Here's a snap to Gristle, throw and tip deflected at the line, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Seems to be the story tonight for Brant, having those passes tipped. I believe that's 3 or 4 passes that he's had tipped at the line. So line needs to do a better job of blocking, but we'll see how they respond after that.
And that's caught it around the 4-yard line, trying to make some moves with his feet, able to get it the first down at around the 45-yard line.
And again, that pass was tipped. Just that defensive line is just giving that bull rush and just getting their hands up and getting a hand on the ball. But that one found its mark, and so the Mustangs ended up completing the first down.
And here's the reverse handoff. He's going to bring it up the sideline, not going to gain much, if any.
Looks like he got back to the line of scrimmage, which is a good job because he turned nothing into something. So
Gets a yard, 2nd and 9.
Got a yard because it could have easily been a loss of 2 or 3, but he ended up gaining a yard. So that was a good job by Elijah there.
And here's the snap to Gristle. Scrambling, and he's just going to throw it out of bounds.
Results pass is incomplete.
And that's going to bring up 3rd and 9.
So 3rd and 9.
We have a
That pass is complete. That's going to be enough for the first down.
score update from the Apex Fuqua game. Apex 21, and Fuqua scored a touchdown to make it Apex 21, Fuqua 14 in the third quarter.
Pass completed to Matt Marino, results in the Middle Creek. First down.
And here's the snap, handoff to the back. Not going to get much, maybe a yard.
So with homecoming week coming up, I believe the week of October 25th, the baseball team is having a chicken dinner fundraiser to help support to raise money for the field house. So make sure you buy your tickets. $8 includes a half a chicken, 2 sides, and a roll and a drink. So make sure you come on out and support the Mustangs baseball team.
And that pass was tipped dangerous. There, I believe there was flag thrown on the play. And just back to that chicken dinner, wildly successful last year. I don't think there was any complaint about the quality. In fact, there was raving about how good that chicken was, myself included. So a great way to eat good food and also support the baseball team. And that penalty is going to be against Green Hope. I don't think that'll be enough for a first down. No, it is 1st and 10, ball on the 29-yard line.
The 15-yard penalty here, resulting in the Middle Creek. First down.
Did you catch what that penalty was for? It was 15-yard penalty.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was pass interference because it looked like the ref threw it right at the receiver. So, I mean, it looked like it was in that general vicinity, so it probably was pass interference.
As that first pass by Gristle is incomplete, bringing up 2nd and 10. I'd be interested to see Gristle's numbers on the evening. Do we have a guy running stats today? We do not, so. And that ball is going to be run just back to the line of scrimmage.
So it'll remain 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs.
3rd and about 9.
And here's the snap. Scrambling a little bit, throws on the move, and that was a good throw by Gristle. Not much help from his receiver. I believe that's Jay Schuler, with that drop pass. So that's going to bring up 4th and 11. And I believe Rubino is going to come out and try and kick a field goal. This one's going to be about 45 yards, I believe.
We got another score update from Fuqua and Apex. Seems Fuqua has now tied the score at 21, so looks like the Bengals are making a comeback. So we'll keep you updated on that score as Fuqua is one of our big rivals.
Kick is up, and I don't think that one's going to have the distance either. No, as that one falls way short. Definitely not characteristic of Rubino, as he is just a monster of a leg, but that one's going to give Green Hope not that great field position despite the missed field goal. They're going to start on Middle Creek's 29-yard line. Quarterback back to pass. Scramble a little bit, under trouble, and he's going to be sacked for a huge loss. I think that's going to be a loss of about 8 or 9 yards.
Yeah, that's a blitz off the right end, and it looks like he just chased him down from behind. Looks like we got an injured player for Green Hope. Looks like he'll be able to jog off and go see the trainer.
So a loss of 6. That's going to bring up 7 and 16, ball on Middle Creek's 14-yard line. Just about 5 minutes left here in this third quarter.
2nd and 16 for Green Hope.
Quarterback's going to look to throw here. Throws over towards the sideline. Receiver's open. He's going to catch that one and run out of bounds with it at around the 33-yard line.
Yeah, that was number 3, Ben Mayhew, who is another one of Luke Massey's big targets.
First down, Green Hope.
Breezy, I think I got the hang of this now.
And here's the snap. Handoff, run up the middle. He's got some room to run. And he's going to break enough tackles to get enough for the first down. That one's going to be at around the Middle Creek's 47-yard line.
That's a good call by the Green Hope offensive coordinator there, catching the Mustangs in the pass defense, and they were playing zone, and they used the halfback draw, and that got them the first down.
It also seems like the Mustangs defense is getting beat off the ball on the defensive line. They're getting tired and blown off the ball.
And that's going to be thrown towards the outside. Tries to get around the defender, not able to. That's going to be a gain of about 4. That's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, going back to last week with Apex. Apex is also, like we said, is one of the spread offenses here in the conference, and they really didn't show that same speed that the Mustangs and Green Hope are showing. So this is probably one of the first tests the Mustangs have had on the defensive standpoint with tempo.
Quarterback looking to pass again. Nobody open. Scrambling. Got defenders closing in. Nice job by the O-line. And he's going to lob that one up to his receiver, and that one's going to be thrown out of bounds. Borderline pass interference by Middle Creek defenders. It looks like he got a hold of the receiver's arm, but nothing called. That's going to bring up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, I got to give credit to the Green Hope offensive line there. I had a couple guys coming in from behind, but they kind of shifted the pocket over for Luke, giving him an extra room to work with, and that actually helped him out and allowed him to continue to possibly make the play, which just wasn't in the cards for the Falcons.
And here's the snap. Back to pass, under pressure. He's going to get held on to, and he's going to eventually be sacked out of bounds, but they're going to throw flags on that play. Obviously going to be against the Mustangs.
Yeah, that was.
Castellano's like, what's up?
Yeah, those were extreme face mask penalties. Just Mustang defenders reaching out for something to grab onto to sack them, but they grabbed the wrong piece of equipment.
We'll wait to see the call.
Holding on Green Hope. Face mask on the Mustangs. Penalties offset.
So a holding on Green Hope, a face mask against the Mustangs. Those penalties are going to offset, repeat, 3rd down.
You look over to the far sideline and not really sure what's going on. Will or Daniel, you guys have any idea what's going on? It looks like they're searching for something on the ground, but not really certain.
They're looking for Waldo.
I kind of put you on the spot there.
I wasn't sure what you were talking about at first, but I see I don't know, maybe Lucky Cricket. They need one at this point.
I don't know what they're looking for, but to confirm your numbers at the Fuquay Apex game, they are tied in the 4th quarter. Fuquay and Apex are tied at 21. The score is Apex 21, Fuquay 21.
So after those penalties, the Falcons will replay 3rd down.
Looking to throw, goes deep. And dropped by number 5 for Middle Creek's defense. It would have been a nice interception, but that's going to bring up 4th down nonetheless, and I believe Green Hope's going to come out here and punt it.
Also, there was a different quarterback throwing the ball for Green Hope there. They didn't have Luke in as quarterback. They had number 22, John Nassif, as the quarterback on that play. And I guess a sort of smart play on Santa's part.
And if you recall, he was lined up at receiver to begin this game. And that's a nice kick by the punter. That one's going to go out at around the 25, 30-yard line.
Took a nice Mustang bounce, and hopefully we'll give the Mustangs some good field position. Hopefully they can put together a drive that can go down and get them some points, because in the last couple games they haven't really done much in the second half. So we'll see if they can change that around.
And just over 3 minutes left here in this third quarter. Game started to pick up in terms of pace here in the second half, and here's a throw by Gristle, and throws behind the receiver.
That pass was intended for number 1, Keon Smith.
And I think that was one where Keon might have needed to make an adjustment in terms of how fast he was running to the ball. Not going to place that one entirely on Brant Gristle. So 2nd and 10, ball snapped, throws it, what? I didn't even see what happened. Intercepted, but that one's going to be run in for a touchdown for Greenhope, and wow, the tempo has changed really quickly, and that's going to put Greenhope at down just 20-14 pending the extra point attempt. I really wish we had extra replay. I didn't even see where that ball went.
It seems like the defensive lineman tried to bet the ball down and caught it as he was bringing his arms down. The offensive lineman did not even see him catch the ball, and he returned that for a touchdown. Almost didn't get in though.
That was, I guess, impressive for Greenhope. Impressive play by that lineman. So just like that, and Middle Creek's almost in some trouble right now. They're going to need to score if they want to keep the comfort that they've had through most of this game.
Yeah, that second half scoring drought is it looks like it could become a problem for the Mustangs to see. Like last week, I mean, it wasn't that much of a problem, but the defense really stepped up the game in the second half. But looks like the Falcons are capitalizing on some mistakes by the Mustangs, and so we'll see if the Mustangs can score.
Absolutely. The defense needs to step it up even more than they did last week in the second quarter to make up for the offense's absence of yards and points on the board. They need to maybe get a pick six or a fumble recovery very close to the goal line for the offense to get moving. I
think my one suggestion, we just got to run the ball a lot more. We're really trying to push this pass offense, and really the only thing that's been successful today has been special teams and the run game, and even the run game has been getting almost shut down, and I think that's as a consequence of not having a very strong passing game today. Yeah, maybe Brant in the fourth quarter might get subbed out with his younger brother Hunter as a result of his bad passing. And here's a nice kick by Greenhope. That one's going to be drilled into the end zone. And that one's just going to be called a touchback, so Mustang's going to start on their own 20-yard line to begin this drive.
Yeah, I don't know about just sticking to the run game, Will. I mean, although that is the thing that is working for the Mustangs, that you can't really just cancel out the whole passing game. You got to keep that balance and keep the defense guessing on what they're going to do, because if they know you're just going to run the ball, they're going to be able to stop that. So you just got to mix it up like they're doing and keep on doing that.
And I agree with you 100%. You got to have a bilateral type offense, but I think that instead of maybe throwing it on second down as we've been doing in the past, we switched that specific down to a run. And is there an injured Mustang on the field? I believe there is.
Looks like that's Elijah Perry down on the field for the Mustangs as the training staff runs out to check him out.
And with that injury, we're going to take a quick timeout. You guys stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Block.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's and we're back with the sports block. Middle Creek leads 20-14 here with 2:45 left in this third quarter. 2nd and 9, ball in the 21. They're going to hand it off again, and just going to be wrapped up and absolutely going nowhere. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Mustang's going to be forced to throw here.
Yeah, that was Josh Drake and replacing for the injured Elijah Perry there. He was walked off on the off to the sidelines under his own power. So we'll see if he can come back.
And here's Gristle looking to pass. He's going to move with his feet, scrambling, throws it away, and interception by Greenhope. And oh man, everything that went wrong for the Mustangs has gone wrong here in this second half, and this is bad news for Middle Creek. Is just like that, Greenhope's kind of in a position to take the lead here.
Yeah, that's just one of those passes that you wish as a quarterback you could have back, and that was just nothing to it. It was just a bad decision throwing into double coverage there, and it was picked off and didn't really work out for the Mustangs.
We have another score update for the Panther Creek Cary game. Panther Creek is beating Cary 31-0. Again, Panther Creek is beating Cary 31-0.
Wow. And that one's going to be dumped off for a gain of about 2 yards.
So right now, all the Mustangs defense can do is just minimize their yard, how many yards they gain, and just try to keep them back and give them a little bit of cushion and hopefully get the offense out there again and just working hard.
And looking to throw here on 2nd down, throws it over the middle. That's going to be caught for a nice gain. I don't think it's going to be enough for the first down, about a yard shy.
One thing I noticed about the Mustangs defense right now, they're not really doing much wrapping up. They're usually just, right now it looks like they're just going for the big hit, and that's just as you saw, just being able to spin off that hit. You really got to wrap them up and just really drive them into the ground to keep that from happening and to minimize the yardage.
And 3rd and 2 here, Mustangs need a stop. They really, really need a stop. Also, they need a stop. And Greenhope's going to call a timeout, and so are we here at the Sports Block. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned. You're still watching the Sports Block.
One block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
One block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. And we're back with the Sports Block. 44 seconds left here in the third quarter. Greenhope needs 2 yards for a first down. Mustangs need to really stop them here. Here is the snap. They're looking to throw. Short throw over the sideline. And they're going to say that is going to be a completion, I believe, and that's going to be enough for the first down.
Nassif on the catch. Tackle by Warren Messer. Good for Falcons first down.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 32-yard line. And with one touchdown here, the Mustangs are actually losing this football game.
Yeah, as the clock continues to wind, looks like the Falcons are going to run the ball up the middle and going to get stuffed by the Mustangs, which looks like it should be a loss of 1, and that might be the end of this third quarter as the clock winds down, under 10 seconds now. It looks like they'll jog to the other side of the field, and that will end this third quarter for the Mustangs. The Falcons with the Mustangs up 20-14.
So with that end of the third quarter, Mustangs barely holding on to their lead 20-14. We're going to go down to one of our sideline reporters, Madison Jaggers, for a sideline report.
What? The third quarter has been a bit rocky with Green Hope having 14 points now on the board. Coach is upset with the missed tackles, but gave his team a pep talk, encouraging them to play better and play harder. In quote, he said, "We are all going to be tired tomorrow, but only one team wins." This is Madison Jaggers. Back to you.
Thanks, Madison. And Coach Castellano doing his thing, a very inspirational man. And with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter.
One block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another two.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. And we're back with the sports block. Green Hope 2nd and 12, ball on Mustangs 34-yard line.
Don't do that.
And here's the snap, looking to pass, got some pressure, nice block by the O-line, and finds a receiver, but he drops it, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 12.
And for an update on the two games we've been keeping updates on, Panther Creek has scored another touchdown in the third quarter. Panther Creek is up 38-0 on Cary. And in the fourth quarter, Apex has pulled away with the lead 28-21 against Fuquay. An easy, manageable game in the fourth quarter. Back to you.
Yeah, it's just to go along with that Panther Creek game, just a couple stats for Cary. Cary so far has had no first downs and only 22 yards of total offense. So that Panther Creek defense is really something to look forward to as we play them next week at Panther Creek.
And here's a throw caught by the receiver. That's going to be enough for the first down, and Middle Creek can't come up with a stop. So 1st and 10, ball on the 15-yard line. We got these little foam footballs, and me and Mr. Petty just kind of had a little bit of a battle, and I'd like to think I won.
I beg to differ. I think Mr. Petty got you by a landslide. So,
well, it's all a matter of opinion. So here's the snap. They're going to hand it off, stretch towards the sideline, and he's going to be tackled for little to no gain.
Looks like Terry Patterson got held a little bit there, but lucky for Green Hope they didn't get the call there.
Warren Messer and Keith Bianco on the tackle. 2nd down.
2nd and 10. Ball remains on the 15-yard line.
I think Mr. Petty got to you, didn't he, Will?
He's messed with my head.
You're looking a little rough over here.
I'm shaky in the knees. And here's the snap, back to pass, scrambles a little bit, under pressure now, throws it up, and knocked down. And looked like it was almost caught by a Green Hope receiver. Mustangs got a little bit lucky there. 3rd and 10.
Jacob Pearl on the defense.
Yeah, that was good defense by the Mustangs. Forced him out of the pocket, forced him to throw a ball that he didn't want to, and it almost worked out for him, almost like that Johnny Manziel play against Alabama a couple weeks ago. So that'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Falcons, looking to punch this one into the end zone. We'll see if the Mustangs D can hold them.
Looking to throw over the sideline, not looking was the receiver. He throws it up into the end zone and into the back of the end zone, incomplete pass. That's going to bring up 4th and 9. Now if I'm Green Hope right here, I think they're just going to tack on the field goal. So if they're in field goal range again, they can always tie up the game.
There was great pressure by King on the last play. He forced him to move out of the pocket and force the ball and make a bad throw that he didn't really want to.
And it appears I was incorrect. They're going to leave the offense on the field, and they're going to try and take the lead here in this game.
Seems like the Falcons don't have much confidence in their kicker.
And they are going to draw the Mustangs offsides. And some anger in the stands and the booth.
Still 4th down.
So that'll bring up a 4th and 4 for the for the Falcons, and so it's an even closer field goal, or they'll try to go for the first down. It looks like, so we'll see if the Mustangs can hold them.
And they're going to throw it here, looking towards the sideline. Almost intercepted by the Mustangs, but doesn't matter. That's going to be a turnover on down for the Mustangs, so a nice job by this Mustang defense of preventing that 4th down. It's going to be dangerous, though, because now Middle Creek's offense is backed up pretty deep into their own territory.
Yeah, that would have proven to be a big turnaround if the Mustangs could have gotten that interception. He had nothing but daylight ahead of him, and that could have possibly been a pick 6 there. So we'll see if the Mustangs offense can turn that into a touchdown.
And here's a pass into traffic. He's going to mess around with the defenders a little bit before being tackled. That was a gain of about 5.
McDonald on reception. Regan on the tackle, brings up 2nd and 5.
Screen pass to Jay Schuler. He'll run up the middle, and he'll be tackled at around the 27-yard line. So that's a good game for the Mustangs. Get them deep out of their own territory. So we'll see if they can keep the momentum going and see if they'll pass or start running the ball now. Who knows?
And they're going to hand it off here around the sideline, going to be tackled for a gain of about 3 yards.
That was Josh Drake around the left side. Kind of got to the outside, just couldn't turn it upfield.
2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. And they're going to hand it off up the middle. Lucky that one didn't get stripped.
Yeah, Josh Drake just got stood up at the line, and not much push by his offensive lineman there. That was just good push by the defensive line there for the Falcons.
The left side of the line, one of the guys just went back about 5 yards. I mean, they just caved in that play. It was a very great defensive play for Green Hope.
And looking to throw here, it's going to be caught. I believe that will be just an inch short of the first down, and knowing Castellano with that distance to go, they will probably go for it.
We'll see. Might be close enough to warrant an official timeout to measurement, and that looks like what they're going to do. So they will bring the chains out, and we'll see if it's close enough.
And while they do that, we're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Block.
165.
He one block, and he shrugs them off, and he makes another 2.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Block. And we're back with the Sports Block. Middle Creek has been given the benefit of the doubt there, and that's going to bring up 1st and 10, ball on the 37-yard line. They're going to snap it, hand it off, run up the middle. Going to be tackled for a gain of about 3.
Josh Drake again on the carry there for the Mustangs. Seems like Elijah is still out of the game right now. We'll see if he can make his way back into the game. Grease on the shotgun, snap. Looks like we got saved by the penalty there. False start on the offense. So that penalty actually saved us there, I believe.
Okay, wait 1 second. You got to find Camille's You have the ball. She gave it to you. Second and 12 for the Mustangs.
So after the penalty, the Mustangs will have 2nd and 12.
And he's going to run that one around the outside.
Elijah Perry on the carry.
And that was Elijah Perry, so he did work his way back into the game. So his injury must not have been too substantial to keep him out of the game. So we're glad to have him back and keep this running game strong.
Almost draws the defense off sides with that hard snap count. Looking to throw here on 3rd down. Airs it up. And
Nice catch. And he's got nothing but open field.
And just tripped up at around the 5-yard line. But that was a nice turn and run with the ball after the reception.
That's what you call a shoestring tackle right there. The guy just literally got hold of the shoestrings.
That results in the Middle Creek. First down.
So now Mustangs 5 yards out of the end zone.
Josh Drake on the carry.
We have another score update. It is Holly Springs and Athens Drive in the 3rd quarter. Holly Springs is up against Athens 34-12. Again, 34-12. Holly Springs is up.
2nd and goal.
I think you'd be crazy to throw it here in this situation. But in fact they will. And caught by a Middle Creek receiver, very nearly intercepted, but they're about an inch out of the end zone now with 3rd down coming up.
That was a fantastic catch by Schuler, taking it away from the defender right there.
And I think if they score here, they might go for the 2-point conversion. What do you think?
Nah, I don't believe Castellano takes that risk. I mean, you just go right now. You just got to get the points that you're handed to. So I mean, you just go for the extra point and get that 1 point, and you worry about that one later.
Castellano will go for it. Knowing him, he'll go for it. He's worried about his defense. He's going to make it at least a 2-possession game.
And that might not even be an issue as we weren't able to score the touchdown. It looks like the kicking unit's going to come on.
My watch for the trick play. They do have a couple of those up their sleeves.
I don't know. I don't know if Castellano, and he really is unpredictable, but I don't think he's going to take the risk here. Just tack on the extra point.
We got Michael Rubino on.
And that is up, and that is good. So a nice stop by Green Hope's defense of preventing the touchdown. They will surrender the field goal, however. And unless I'm mistaken, that was the 4th field goal on the night. Or maybe not. Hold on. Something around there. A lot of field goals. It's getting late. 5 minutes, 43 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. Green Hope will be receiving the ball. It is a 2-possession game now as Mustangs lead by 9.
As much as I'm enjoying this game, I'm getting a little tired here. I got to be up early in about probably 8 hours, less than 8 hours. So we'll see how see how those people with the SAT tomorrow will feel in the morning.
And over to my right, we have Mr. Petty playing the world's smallest violin.
And just so you guys know, he does not have any musical background at all, so it's probably not very good.
It's imaginary. I like to give him the benefit of the doubt. Tyler, what was your most recent SAT score? Because this isn't your first attempt at the SAT.
Well, I did fairly well, so we're just looking to bring it up a little bit.
Do you think you could give the viewers a number?
I do not. That's just more of a personal thing, but it is not a bad score. Just because I refuse to tell you guys doesn't mean that it's a bad score. So.
And on that note, Middle Creek's getting away to kick off here. Michael Rubino again out to kick. And it is up, line drive, and guess what? It's at the 2-yard line. Nice kick. And he's going to try and bring this one up. Going to be tackled a little past the 20-yard line, probably around the 22.
About a 19-yard return by Elijah Moraine there to give the Falcons fairly good field position at around the 20-yard line for them. So they'll look to capitalize on the Mustangs' missed opportunity last possession.
Greenhope looking to pass here. Throws a little screen over there. Almost a nice open field tackle. And he's going to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I guess you can attribute that missed tackle to leaving your feet, because one thing as a defensive player, you're taught never to leave your feet when tackling. So that was a no-no there that cost the Mustangs some precious yards there.
Absolutely. As a defensive player, you always got to break down and wrap him up. Get right in front of him, even if he runs you over, and make sure he doesn't get those extra yards.
And the clock's beginning to wind down here. We're getting just around the 5-minute mark of what's left here in this fourth quarter. Quarterback looking to throw under pressure, scrambles a little bit, and just going to throw it at the ground. That's going to bring up 2nd and 7. 3rd and 7.
Yeah, the Mustangs did a good job of collapsing the pocket, making the offensive line work there for the Falcons, and forcing Luke to scramble and force that incompletion.
And the quarterback just taking his time back there and almost intercepted. That looked like Jacob Pearl on the almost interception, but that's going to bring up 4th and 7.
Alex Sutton almost got it off the tip there. Great effort on his part.
And I think Greenhope's going to be forced to go for it. They do need 2 scores to win this thing. Only 4 minutes, 48 seconds left.
Yeah, the only problem with this field position is that if you do, in fact, not make the first down, then you get the Mustangs really, really good field position, and right off the bat, they're in field goal territory. So with Michael Rubino's leg strength and Chris Huey's accuracy, they've got a dual threat here. So we'll see if that plays a factor as they call a timeout to talk this over.
And we're going to take a quick commercial break. You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back.
In the fourth period,
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another 2.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another 2.
And kick is up. That's an absolute. And we're back with the Sports Block. Greenhope forced to go for it here on 4th and 7, ball on their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, with 4 minutes and 48 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter, the Falcons really have no choice but to go for it, because they've got to get some points and get some points fast. So we'll see what they do here.
Looking to throw the ball under pressure once again, scrambling around. No receivers are open. He's just going to throw that one up, and the only person around that was a Middle Creek defender. So perhaps the kiss of death for Green Hope, as Mustangs going to take over on their 25-yard line, and score here will pretty much put the game in the bag.
With another score update, there is now less than 3:52 to go against Panther Creek and Cary, and Panther Creek is up 38-7 against Cary.
And a quick time update as well. It's 4 minutes 38 seconds here in the fourth quarter.
Looks like a screen out to the right to Keon Smith as he'll take it up the middle, and he'll break a couple tackles, make it down to about the 6 or 7 yard line of the Falcons, and that'll put the Mustangs in even better field position, and hopefully can score a touchdown and put this game in the bag, because even with 4 minutes and 30 some odd seconds left, there's still a lot of time for the Falcons to come back, so let's not count them out yet.
And almost intercepted by Green Hope. Very, very close. That's going to bring up second and goal.
Elijah Perry around the left side gets tackled around the 10-yard line, loses a couple yards, and so that'll bring up third down for the Mustangs.
Brings up a 3rd and goal.
Which I imagine right here the Mustangs will just run the ball and kind of center it in between the hash marks to give the field goal unit some good field position, to where it's not an angled kick, it's more of a straight-on kick. And just time management right now is one of the big things for the Mustangs offense. So we'll see if they get it off.
Oh, and Gristle's going to be sacked for a huge loss. That's going to bring the Mustangs back to around the 20-yard line.
With another score update, it is the fourth quarter in the Apex Fuquay game. Fuquay has lost that comeback, and now Apex is up 31-21, down by 10 points in the fourth.
And there's going to be a timeout on the field, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Block.
He one block, and he just shrugs them off, and he makes another 2.
And kick is up. That's an absolute drill into the back of the end zone. You're watching the Sports Blog. And we are back, boys and girls. It looks like we're going to get ready to tack on a 3-point field goal. This is Rubino back to kick. It's going to be about a
34-yard attempt for Rubino here. Shorter than the other ones he's attempted, but we'll see if he can get this one. It looks like he's got the distance, and it's good right through the uprights. So that'll give the Mustangs a good 12-point cushion there.
So now Green Hope, the only way they're going to win this game is with 2 touchdowns. Dos touchdowns.
How long was that kick?
34.
If I knew the Spanish word for touchdowns, I would use it. 3 minutes and 16 seconds left here in this ball game.
So after the ensuing kickoff, you'll see Green Hope kick into their overdrive mode, where they start trying to force things, trying to get down to the field, because I mean they still got 3 minutes left, but still, I mean it's getting down to crunch time where they've got to start executing and getting some yards and getting some points on the board, because before long this game is going to be over with. And so they're trying to make one final last push to put some points on the board.
Onside kick by the Mustangs. I'm calling it.
I have to disagree with
It's
you.
a good call.
I greatly disagree, as you don't want to give them good field position if you do, in fact, not recover it.
No, they're playing Madden. It's going to be an onside kick.
It's gonna be a short little line drive kick right into the middle open space right there.
Well, we'll see what Michael Rubino does as he approaches the ball.
And an onside kick, just like I predicted, this onside kick's going to go into the back of the end zone for a touchback. Monster of a leg, and that's going to bring Green Hope to the 20-yard line.
I think you messed up a little bit on that onside kick there.
Yeah,
No,
I think you got your terminology mixed up there, Will.
Nope.
Even though you're gauging your yards is
Greatly improved.
Greatly improved. Your terminology and knowledge of the game has not. So we'll have to work on that.
That was a clear onside kick. You can't tell me otherwise.
We'll have to work on that later when we get back to the classroom.
Anyway, and it looks like the quarterback's going to need to drive 80 yards. And then they will actually have to kick an actual onside kick to go for the extra touchdown. And there's pressure, and he's going to get a fumble on the field. That was a fumble forced by the sack. A nice play by a Middle Creek defender, and that quarterback's obviously shaken up.
And that was Tom Hartshorn there on the forced fumble. He's been in this game the whole time, and so he's been a major factor and been kind of a nightmare for the Falcons because he's had a couple sacks and had that forced fumble, so he's played a major part in the Mustangs' success on the defense side of the ball.
And when it's all said and done, that was only a loss of 2 yards. And they're going to throw it, and just outside the reach of both the defender and the receiver, 3rd and 12.
The time looks like it's getting to the quarterback, like it always does to every quarterback in the game. They always force bad throws. They try to rush things, and they try to get it done all by themselves, try to be the hero.
Yeah, right there, that's just when you got to trust your teammates to help you out, and you just got to come together and basically bond and just work together and drive down the field. And that's really not what's happening right now for the Falcons.
And just going to dump it off. And he's had some room to run. He's going to be tackled short of the first down, and they're going to be forced to go for it once again.
Looks like a really close.
From
close to
where
the
they
first down marker.
it.
Looks like they're actually giving it to him, so that'll be a first down for the Falcons as the chains move. The clock stops momentarily.
I felt like they kind of gave him a little generous spot on the field with that spotting. I thought he was tackled much short of the first down. And that's going to be delayed handoff, and he's going to be tackled for a gain of about 3.
So the clock continues to run as we get within 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So that clock's becoming a major factor now in the game as Green Hope will start using that 2-minute drill that they practice all so much.
You also have to remember that the Falcons also have to get 2 touchdowns in order to win this game. 2-minute drill is just not going to cut that.
And he's going to throw it towards the sideline, almost intercepted by the Mustangs. That one's going to go out of bounds on the incomplete pass. 3rd and 8.
Broken up by Terrence White. Bring it up 3rd down.
And about to pass the ball, scrambling, throws it up out of bounds. And they will be forced to convert here on 4th and 8.
Right now, we're getting within that time period where they got to start forcing it. And if they do not convert on this 4th down, then that will basically put the game in the bag for the Mustangs as the clock's under 2 minutes. And so Mustangs will use that time management that they practice a lot and just run the ball.
And then you can go home to your precious bed so you can get sleep for your SAT.
And I got to eat too, so it's going to be a little later.
It has to be a fake punt. No, what?
I've never seen that before.
absolutely baffled. That one's going to get rolled to the 23-yard line. Did Green Hope just give up?
I'm sensing they just basically gave up, and I believe that's a poor coaching decision right there. You never give up on your team like that. I mean, basically by punting the ball and giving the Mustangs the ball, you basically given up on any chance to win. And so I believe that that's just one of those things where you just gotta go for it anyway. I mean, just gotta try your luck.
I actually think that was kind of a smart decision. There's no way that this Green Hope offense could score 2 touchdowns in a minute and maybe 30-some seconds.
Maybe not, but is it very coachman-like to just give up on your team like that? Because there's always a chance, albeit very small.
He's trying to conserve his players. He's not going to take the risk and not get it and have maybe his backup quarterback get hurt and then they're down to their 3rd string or the JV quarterback being brought up. They don't want to take the risk of getting somebody else hurt, so they're just going to say, all right, Mustangs, you win this one. Good job, and move on.
And they're just going to let the clock run out here. Just take this time to talk about the game, what happened. Middle Creek came out here in the first half, absolutely dominated. They went up 20-0 going into halftime. Green Hope gave them a little bit of a scare by going with 14 unanswered points, but Middle Creek able to pull it together towards the end and kind of seal the deal against Green Hope. Though we came out with the victory, I'd say it's kind of ominous knowing that our offense did not play as well as they could.
No, just like last week, the Mustangs came out really, like you said, Will, came out really strong in the first half and really put the pedal to the metal on the opposing team, and just basically like last game, the offense came out really slow in the second half, and the Falcons only held them to 6 points in the second half, which that is. You got to give kudos to the Falcons for making those adjustments and just allowing field goals.
And I believe that's going to do it for us here at the Sports Block. I'm going to get us alongside Tyler Scholler and Daniel Engelman. That's going to do it for us. You guys have a great night. Again, Mustangs come down with the win, 26-14. Stay tuned. We have a string of home games the entire month of October, and we'll be back for the next one. So we're signing off. Good night.